Well, it's been 3 years in the making, but we're back to tackle off the Ghlo 3. So welcome back to the channel. You find us today in Braigh, and today we're looking to tag off 3 Munros that make up the Ghlo 3. We tried this about 3 years ago, but the weather was howling. We got to the top of Carn Liath and decided, no, we go no further. So we're back in the area, and yeah, the top of the mountain at the minute is covered in cloud, but the weather forecast for later today is for it to clear. Now, about a month and a half ago, I was contacted by a publicist for a woman named Nicola Hardy, who has written a book called Peak Bagging Munros. I have been sent a free copy of the book, just full disclosure on that one. And she's written a volume 1, which covers a lot of the Western Highlands and the Southern Cairngorms. Now, it's quite a well-written wee book. It gives you the GPX maps, it gives you how long it'll take, depending on whether you're a hiker, a fell runner, or a backpacker. And yeah, it has been quite an interesting read. So today, I'm going to let you see inside the book and a wee bit about it. I think it's from what I've seen so far, it's a decent book if you're looking to start your Munro bagging journey and you're looking for the information on where to stay and things to do around about that local area. This is maybe one to have a look at. So here we go, I brought the book with me. So this is Peak Bagging Munros, Volume 1 by Nicola Hardy. She's somebody that you can follow online. She has an Instagram channel, and we're looking for page 291, which is the Ghlo group of mountains. So we're looking to be covering a distance of 22.3 kilometres, so just over a half marathon distance, with a time between 9 hours and 40 minutes if you're a walker, trekkers 8 hours 20, fast packers 16 hours and 15, and if you're a trail runner you're going to do it in about 4 hours and 10 minutes. So yeah, it's been a good wee book. It's got information. There's Carn Liath, that's the first one we're going to be heading up today, and gives you some decent routes and things. So it's a book that's certainly worth a look if you're looking to get into your first few Munros and start bagging them off, all 282 of them. But yeah, it's drizzling here, so I'm going to get my hard shell on, and we're going to make tracks up towards the start of Carn Liath. This one is very much like Beinn, where it goes straight up the hill, so yes, time to get the hard shell on, and I hope this rain doesn't last. Right, join us as we head round the Ghlo 3. So if you're coming to do this group of hills, you'll be parking in, it is a really good wee car park at Monsey now. With it being a very good car park, it is a pay and display as well, and it's cost about £5 for the day's parking, which, let's be honest, is reasonable compared to the one at Arica. It's very reasonable, and you know your car's in a decent car park. So yeah, we're getting a little bit of blue sky above us, and we're hoping these clouds are going to shift, because I don't know, between joining me today is Ryan again. We're back on it, and yeah, we're hoping it's not going to be a repeat of the last time, because that was miserable. But yeah, we're hoping for a wee bit of blue sky today and some views from the top of these 3. Right, I'll speak to you again as we get a little bit further up. So there's Loch Mora down to the right of the path as we head up, and up ahead, just poking out the clouds there, that's the straight up path we're going to be heading up. As I was saying back down at the car there, this is another mountain where the concept of the zigzag hasn't been thought up. It just goes straight up the side of the mountain, like Beinn along at Chruinn-bhalgain. And having done it before, we know what's in store. That rhymes, doesn't it? I'm a poet and I don't even know it. So the weather forecast is to be clearing. We're hoping to get round these in just over 8 hours. This is a long day in the mountains, but it could be up as long as 10 hours, which we're prepared for. But yeah, it's not going to be a short day in the hills. There's a good wee bothy that I'll let you have a look at just as you come off this before you start across the boggy section at the bottom of Carn Liath. And then we're straight into the climb. Oh, other way. Well, I was going to let you see the inside that little bothy back there, but we could hear noise come from the inside, so there's people obviously been sleeping in there last night. Didn't want to disturb them. So this first section at the bottom of Carn Liath, I'll spin you around and let you see. You've got this kind of stone path that takes you across some quite boggy sections, and then very quickly we'll be up onto the main path that takes you up to our first summit of the day, where it sits, I think it's 974 metres. I think that's right. I'll double check it when we get up there. So yeah, nice dry feet for the start of the day. Well, the wind has picked up a fair bit from being down at the bottom, and the cloud level is whipping across about the 700 metre mark. Now this is one of these hills where you start off already pretty high up. I'm sure we were just below the 400 metre mark when we left the car. So we're currently just over 600 metres, meaning we've got, what's that, 374 to go. So not long, and no doubt we're going to be up in the Clag for a big chunk of the day. I do have the drone with me, but I doubt it's going to be out today. But right, I better crack on because Ryan's getting off ahead, and yeah, I need to catch up. Right, we'll speak to you once we're up in the Clag. So we're about 25 metres from the summit, and as you can see, we're up in the Clag. The wind is blowing between 20 and 30 miles an hour. At points you feel like you're going to get knocked off your feet. It's quite reminiscent of the last time Ryan and I were up here, only without the driving rain. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be any spectacular drone footage off the top of this one, and we'll wait and see how the day pans out. We might get some drone footage from the other two, but yeah, not long now, and we'll be back at the top of Carn Liath. Now I got awful excited this morning thinking I was going to be on 65 Munros, forgetting that this is part of a round of 3 that Ryan and I attempted to do before, and failed, only bagging off the one. So yeah, I can't count this one because it's already been done. But oh, and just as we say that, the summit has cleared. Well, it was clear until I turned the camera around. That's typical, isn't it? But yeah, we're nearly there. And then I'm going to get another layer on because it's amazing how cold it gets when you're in the cloud. I'm starting to feel it in the hands. So we'll get a pair of gloves on, another layer on. I'm going to grab a quick pork pie, and then we'll crack on towards our second Munro of the day, which, can I be honest, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. The title of that one will go up on the screen below. But here we go. Here is the summit of Carn Liath. So there we go, there's the trig point, and the summit Cairn just beyond it. Well, I've got the gloves and the extra layer on now, and I have to say, now that we've stopped, it's actually really cold up in the clouds here. So this is Carn Liath. This is one we've done before, standing at 974 metres. We're not going to hang about here long. I think we're going to get down and head on towards our second Munro of the day, which has a name that, even if you listen to it on Walk Highlands, is really difficult to pronounce.
Gordon, give it a go.
I'm not even going to give it a go. I'm not even going to attempt it. So yeah, we're going to get the packs on, and I think we're going to get moving before we get too cold. Right, we'll see you further on towards the second Munro of the day as part of the Beinn Ghlo 3. So we're getting glimpses along the ridgeline off the back of Carn Liath, and you can see the path just in the middle of the screen. Well, you could if it wasn't getting clagged in again. It's definitely going to be one of those days where the views come and go, and I'm a wee bit disappointed that we're not going to be able to get the drone up today. It's too windy. Yeah, there's some good rugged looking mountainscapes up here that would have been lovely to have put on camera for you, but never mind. It is what it is, I guess. Right, we're going to get along to the end of this ridge, and then I think we've got a bit to drop down before climbing up towards the top of our second Munro for the day, which again, as I said earlier, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. I'll get the wee guy for Walk Highlands to do it if I can get a signal. Right, I'll bring you back when we get to the other end of this ridgeline. Well, that's us. We're nearly down at the Beinn between Munro's number 1 and 2, and then we've got this long gradual pull up to just over 1,000 metres. We reckon we've got about 300 metres of ascent, so not too bad, and it doesn't look nearly as steep as the beginning in Carn Liath. I was just saying to Ryan that I actually much prefer a kind of more natural path. I know that the path system on the Munros in Scotland, a lot of them have these steps built into them because of erosion, and they've had to build a path because the Munros are popular, which is a good thing, because you can only encourage people to get out in the mountains more, because it's, you know, great not just for your physical but for also your mental health. But I think for me it's the relentless same steps as you head up, whereas on a natural path you're twisting, you're turning, you're zigzagging. On that path at the start of Carn Liath, it's just a stairmaster for 2 hours till you get to the summit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being on more natural paths over this side as we head up onto Munro number 2 for the day. And the wind has died down a little bit, but the rain's coming and going today. It's going to be one of these days where, you know, the weather's not going to be perfect, but you can't have it always, all the time. So yeah, it's just good to be back in the mountains again. I'm glad to be finally tagging off these ones with Ryan after a number of years for waiting to get back to do it again, and edging closer and closer towards my first major target, which I'm going to call 82. Leaving me 200 to go. But aye, we're not far away. Right, down to the Beinn, and then we're going to start climbing again. Well, we've got 100 metres to go, and summit number 2 for the day, as you'll see, has just been topped off by clag, but I'm hoping some of this nicer weather behind us might catch up and allow us at least to get a view from the top of this one. I was just saying to Ryan, I don't know whether it's being back at work for the last 2.5 weeks, but I am feeling utterly wiped out today. Feel drained of energy. I've had plenty to eat as well, but I think it's just being back at work fatigue, I guess. But never mind, not far to go now, 100 metres. We're going to stop and get lunch. Well, there we go. Munro number 2 for the day, with a name that I'm not even going to try and pronounce, and at a height I can't remember because I'm just a little bit exhausted at the minute. I'll put it up at the bottom of the screen here. So this is my Munro number 63 of 282. Oh. Well, that's us. We've had lunch, and I have to say it was just in time for me. I was running on empty. Now, we are only at the 5 mile mark, and today we're on 14 miles. So we still have 9 miles to go, but a big chunk of those is going to be heading downhill and along kind of flatter paths on the way as we walk back out. So yes, well, it has been a steep start to this walk, and there has been a bit of dropping down and going back up, and we've got another bit to go. The walk out, for all it's going to be, I think it's probably about 5 miles. It's going to be around 5 miles, 4 or 5 miles. It'll be a relatively straightforward 4 or 5 miles. So yep, right, lunch is had, and we're ready to head on to Munro number 3. Well, the wind's pretty strong, and I hope you hear me over the top of it. That is our final Munro of the day, and just at the bottom there you can see the path heading down to the right, and that's where we're going to come and retrace our steps and head back down that way and back to the car. So we've been up and touched the trig point, and now we've got to head on a little bit further onto the top of Carn Liath, Gabhar, and that'll be us finished our Munros for today. It has been one of the tougher days in the mountains for me today. I don't know whether it's a hangover from the camp I had last weekend, the being back at work. The wind certainly hasn't helped. We've been battling that all day, and that always can be tiring. But yeah, no, it's been another fabulous day in the hills, other than feeling a little bit fatigued. Let's go and tap off Munro number 64 of 282. Well, that's us had a quick break. We're just sitting in the shelter of the summit cairn at the minute. This all in all is about 14 miles long, and we've just had a look, and from where we're sitting right now it is 7 miles back, so this is exactly the halfway point. It's worth noting, if you're coming out into the hills, the weather and the way you've been at work and how you're feeling generally will determine how tough it is. I've said to Ryan, this has certainly felt like one of the tougher days in the mountains I've had. My legs are certainly feeling it, but we have been battling against the wind for the entire day, and if we stand up just now you wouldn't be able to hear me because the wind's gusting between 30 and 40 mile an hour. We do have the wind in our face on the way back, but then it's downhill. It's the climbing into the wind that has been the real killer today, but can't complain. It's been another day in the mountains, and as you can see, we've now got blue sky above us. I've got my sunglasses on ready for the walk back down. 7 miles to get back to the car, so this will mean we'll head back along the way we've just come, back down to the Bràigh between this Munro and Munro number 2 for the day, and at that point we cut off to the left, down to the bottom, and then it's a long walk along the road and back to the car. Anyway, this has been the Beinn 3. I've been G from Red Man Walking with Ryan, and all that remains for me to say is go and create your own adventures, and we'll see you on the next one.